It's 3:30 in the afternoon on a warm day in downtown San Diego, California. Everything appears to be normal. A father drives to his daughter's preschool to pick her up. She gets in the car like any other ordinary day, but as they begin to drive away, she notices something is different about her father. He's acting strange. He seems to be in a rush with a look of dread in his eyes. The young girl becomes frightened upon witnessing her father's strange behavior and asks him what is wrong. Her father turns to his young daughter and looks her in the eyes, to which he disturbingly replies with, "Daddy hurt mommy." The daughter first assumes a minor accident might have occurred and her mother got a bruise or some other minor injury, but that could not be farther from the truth. Her father had done something much worse. The girl didn't realize it at the time, but she was sitting only inches away from the gun that her father had just used to kill her mother, and within 30 minutes her father would be arrested for double homicide. The bizarre story of the horrifying acts her father committed, coupled with his even more bizarre past, would puzzle investigators and the public as everyone tried to determine what happened. October 21st started out like any other day. For the authorities, it seemed to be an overall quiet day in San Diego. Nothing appeared to be out of the ordinary. There were some occasional break-ins, carjackings, and disputes, but nothing that was abnormal for a major city in the United States. However, as the day went on, it would not remain so quiet for police. At around 3 o'clock in the afternoon, a 911 operator received a call. At the other end was a man who sounded shaken and nervous. The operator asked him what was wrong, to which he replied with, "Two people have been killed in an apartment in downtown San Diego." The man went on to tell the operator that his name was Ali Abulaban and he had shot and killed his wife and another man at his apartment in East Village. The operator couldn't believe what they had just heard, but before they could fully comprehend the situation, the man at the other end had hung up. Police were immediately dispatched to the apartment building in East Village, and when they entered, they were confronted with a brutal crime scene. Inside the apartment, police discovered the bodies of 28-year-old Anna Abulaban and 29-year-old Rayburn Barron, a friend of Anna's. Both victims had been ambushed while talking with one another in the apartment and shot with a pistol from close range. Barron was shot 3 times and Anna had been killed with a single shot to the head. The scene was brutal, but it was pretty clear to police what had happened. Anna's estranged husband, 28-year-old Ali Abulaban, had already confessed over the phone to the crime only moments prior. An APB had been put out on his car and he was quickly spotted by police and arrested while driving with his 5-year-old daughter. Inside of the car, police found a pistol which would later match the ballistics of the one used to shoot Anna Abulaban and Rayburn Barron. Ali confessed to the shooting over the phone and while in custody. Security cameras captured him in the elevator and police quite literally had the smoking gun. The case seemed to solve itself. However, one question would not be so simple to answer. What would possess a man with no violent criminal history to suddenly snap and shoot 2 people in cold blood? Ali Nasser Abulaban was born on May 18, 1992 in Staten Island, New York to a working-class family from Palestine. As a child, Ali seemed to be fairly normal, with an absence of red flags or indicators of emotional instability and anger. The Abulaban family would move to Virginia while Ali was young, where he would go on to attend Stonewall Jackson High School. He remained mostly uninterested in school and would spend his free time exposing himself to the world of cinema. Ali would immerse himself in movies, which he found to be an escape from the real world. He spent hours of his free time watching classic films such as Scarface, one of his personal favorites, and had exposed himself to the ins and outs of pop culture. Although movies acted as an emotional escape for Ali, they could not make the responsibilities of the real world disappear. In his late teenage to early adult years, Ali would move out of his parents' home and work a variety of jobs from retail to IT work in order to make a living for himself. After spending years drifting around from job to job in search of his life's purpose, the 22-year-old would make the decision to enlist in the United States Air Force in 2014. After completing basic training, he was placed on duty and stationed at a U.S. Air Force base in Okinawa, Japan. While stationed in Okinawa, when he was not fulfilling his duties for the military, he would frequent the numerous bars surrounding the base, where he was normally seen socializing with tourists and locals alike. Through his social endeavors around Japan, Ali would eventually meet 21-year-old Anna Marie. Anna was from the Philippines and had been staying in Japan for an undisclosed amount of time when she had met Ali in Okinawa. She was known to be incredibly intelligent and held a bachelor's degree from the Technological University of the Philippines. Both Anna and Ali shared an interest in social media and both found a connection in their mutual stride to become online influencers. The two quickly fell in love with one another, and anytime Ali was not completing work for the Air Force, he would be spending time with Anna. She was charmed by his personality and saw him as a charismatic and compassionate man. Unfortunately for Anna, however, things were not always as good as they may have seemed, and Ali would reveal the angry and impulsive side of his personality early on in the relationship. At Ali's trial in 2021, Detective Sergeant Christopher Lehigh of the San Diego Police Department would testify that Ali and Anna had gone to a bar one night in Okinawa, where Ali, presumably after a few drinks, got into a verbal altercation with other patrons at the bar. Things would begin to escalate between Ali and the angered patrons as the tension became a full-blown physical fight. It's unknown who threw the first punch that night, but what is known is that at some point during the altercation, Ali turned his anger towards Anna, whom he would allegedly begin to hit as the altercation continued. The incident that occurred at the bar resulted in his relief of duties from the Air Force under the official status of other than honorably discharged. At some point after the incident in Okinawa, he would reconnect with Anna, who made the decision to immigrate to the United States to pursue a relationship with him. The young couple settled down in Virginia as they began to plan a future together, with Ali eventually proposing to her. Anna was overwhelmed with joy, and the couple would officially get married in January of 2017. At the time, the couple seemed like a match made in heaven, and both were optimistic for the future. Things would only continue to get better for the two upon the revelation that Anna was pregnant. The husband and wife seemed to be going down a path destined for success, with a happy marriage and a new daughter in their life. The couple continued to post on social media and would develop a small following on platforms like Instagram through their collaborative and individual content. Despite their frequent posts to social media, their accounts would remain mostly unnoticed until 2019. On July 28th of that year, Ali would create an account on the social media app TikTok. The app was released by the Beijing-based tech company ByteDance nearly 3 years prior in 2016. It consisted of a style that contained short videos uploaded by users that could remain up to a minute in length. The app had tapped into the nostalgia brought by platforms like Vine that presented influencers with a simple but engaging format and brought numerous creative opportunities. In 2018, the app would see a spike in popularity, with millions of new users creating accounts and uploading content to the site. TikTok had become filled with an abundant variety of posts featuring everything from comedical skits to serious political commentary. The app was arguably revolutionary in the sense that it gave seemingly regular people the opportunity to achieve the levels of internet fame and success from their phone that were only previously achievable in the past through luxuries such as fancy editing and equipment. Going under the handle Jin Kid, Ali would become one of the thousands of seemingly ordinary people to achieve success and develop a following on TikTok. His long-held interest in pop culture and cinema would manifest through his TikTok page as he uploaded numerous skits and impressions of characters from the films and video games that had captivated him in his childhood, such as Tony Montana, John Wick, and a variety of characters from the game Skyrim. On November 27th, 2019, Ali would upload a video to his TikTok page titled Skyrim in Real Life. The skit portrayed Ali as a non-playable character from Skyrim, and he would go viral in the TikTok algorithm, amassing over 3 million views. He would go on to turn his Skyrim video into a series, with each installment garnering millions of new views and thousands of new followers for his page. It would seem that Ali had finally hit his big break as his channel rose to nearly 1 million followers. As his platform on TikTok grew, so would his Instagram account, which would reach over 200,000 followers. With all of the new attention on his Instagram in addition to his TikTok, Ali made the choice to be more open with his audience about his life and his quote-unquote picture-perfect marriage. This decision would act as a precursor to a series of events that would later unfold and lead to the destruction of Ali's life and his eventual downfall. In many cases, the personality and life depicted by online influencers has been nothing more than an act, and 29-year-old father and husband Ali Abulaban was no exception to this. Behind the scenes, Ali's wife Anna would complain to her friends about her husband's increasingly paranoid and controlling personality. Things would only get worse upon the couple's move to San Diego, where he would reportedly maintain control over every aspect of her life, including the friendships she was allowed to have and the people she was allowed to speak with. Ali's alleged behavior towards Anna appears to highlight a consistent theme in cases of domestic violence, where abusers will limit or cut their victims off from family and friends in order to maintain absolute control over their lives and continue the abuse. As the marriage spiraled out of control, the couple would frequently be heard arguing, and Ali's own relatives began to notice his controlling nature towards his wife. His outbursts would become more prevalent, and the marriage became more toxic as time went on. Eventually, he would be unable to continue hiding the truth from his online viewer base, and in 2021, one of Ali's many Instagram live streams would give his viewers a look into his decaying marriage. In the live, Ali appears to sit in his cluttered apartment while yelling at his wife. It is unclear what had preceded the argument and initially set Ali off, but the ensuing outburst would put his anger on full display for those who were watching.
Fucking bitch. Fucking talk to me. I'll bring you to San Diego for what? So you can run to your friends? Fucking bitch. You're not even an American citizen. I brought you to this goddamn country. Name one man that would do that shit for you, bitch.
As the live stream continues, Anna's voice is briefly heard off screen before the couple would begin to aggressively yell at one another, with Ali calling his wife various slurs before going as far as to threaten her with her own immigration status.
What do you mean walk it off? I'm going to jail, man. I'm going to fucking jail. I have no fucking record. I'm going to jail. This is my bitch. Fucking woman. I dedicate my life to her. One day she wakes up, she don't fucking love me no more. Get the fuck out of here. Who's the new nigga? Who's the new nigga? Let me find out. Don't fucking play me. Don't fucking play me. If I was petty, I would tell them that she beat me the fuck up too. And you know what? Goodbye to your little citizenship there, Miss Filipino. I tried to separate. I said I'll leave. I packed all my shit. There's my suitcase. I tried to pack all my shit, but no, she started beating me. Tried to block the door.
Stop lying to them, Ollie.
No, it's the truth. You're a fucking bitch ass. Shut the fuck up.
You are a liar.
Yeah, you got friends now. Now you don't have a husband. Okay. Fuck out of here.
The disturbing live stream would be one of many incidents between the husband and wife over the following months that would make the failure of their marriage evident to the people around them. In September of 2021, officers with the San Diego Police Department were called to the Abulabon's Island Avenue apartment over a reported domestic dispute. When they arrived, they were met by a distraught Anna, who claimed that her husband had physically assaulted her following an argument between the two. She would express to the police that she felt increasingly unsafe around her husband and had planned to file a restraining order in the near future, but it appears that charges were never filed and she was never able to obtain any legal protection from Ali. Over the following month, police would be called back to the apartment multiple more times over numerous domestic violence reports. A couple that lived in the apartment across from the Abulabons would testify at Ali's trial that one day, about a month before the shooting, they'd been startled by a loud and frantic knock on their door. The couple claimed that upon answering the door, they were met by a distressed Anna who pleaded with them to allow her to borrow their phone and call the police, alleging her husband had hit her and taken her own phone. The turmoil in the household would have no resolution as things would only continue to get worse. For the sake of her own well-being as well as that of her daughter, Anna would ask her husband to move out of the apartment and into a hotel on October 18th. He was absolutely enraged by this suggestion, but decided to comply, possibly out of fear of getting arrested following the numerous visits from the police. Even though he was initially willing to stay in the hotel and comply with his wife's request to move out, Ali's rage and anger only grew while he was away as his desire for control became unmanageable and he inched towards his breaking point. On the morning of October 21st, after being deprived of having control over his wife and his marriage, Ali would finally snap. Unbeknownst to Anna, he had secretly made a copy of the key to the apartment and would re-enter that morning while nobody was home. Upon entering, the unhinged Ali would ransack the home before finding his daughter's tablet and installing an app on the device with a disturbing purpose. You see, the app Ali had installed onto his daughter's tablet would allow him to remotely access it from his cell phone and listen in on conversations in the home through the device's microphone. The act was in clear violation of his family's privacy and would adhere to the continuing theme of Ali's need for control, which he was unable to give up even when presented with the threat of losing his family. Anna was understandably disturbed after returning home and finding her apartment vandalized, as she increasingly felt more alone and in danger. She maintained a large group of friends, unbeknownst to Ali, that she deeply cared for and would regularly speak with. Later that day, she welcomed one of these friends, Rayburn Barron, into her home to provide her with company following the disturbing events that had unfolded earlier. The two laughed and spoke with one another as the day went on. For the first time in a while, Anna was finally smiling again. Sadly, however, her joy was only temporary. Unknown to the two friends at the time, someone else was listening in on their conversation through a tablet in the home. Ali. He listened as he heard Anna's voice speaking with another man. As he heard the two laugh together, his rage and hatred reached a boiling point. If he could not have Anna, then no man could. He grabbed a pistol he owned and raced to the apartment. He entered the building filled with pure anger as he made his way to the elevator. Inside, as he neared the 35th floor, he loaded his pistol. He would approach and enter the apartment, gripping his gun tightly as he immediately opened fire on Barron, shooting him repeatedly. Anna was stunned as Barron fell to the ground and she froze in fear. She looked into the eyes of her estranged husband as he calmly raised his gun and with a single shot ended her life. Ali exited the apartment as Anna and Baron lay dead. In less than a minute, 2 lives were taken, and a relationship that initially seemed to be perfect ended in tragedy. HahaYeah Boulaban was arrested and taken into custody following a brief police chase on I-15 with his 5-year-old daughter in the car. Under police interrogation, he would confess to the murders of Anna and Rayburn, claiming that he believed his wife had been cheating on him despite investigators finding no evidence of this claim. He would later retract this confession and eventually deny that he ever made it altogether, taking a plea of not guilty and insisting on his innocence. Luckily for Deputy District Attorney Taryn Brast, Ali's confession would not be needed to have a chance at securing a conviction in the case, thanks to the mountains of evidence linking him to the crime, including surveillance video, DNA, and ballistics. In addition to all of the material proof implicating Ali in the murders, multiple witnesses would come forward to the media before and throughout the trial to attest to his relationship with Anna and the dark side of his personality. One of these many witnesses would be Cassie Conroy, Anna's friend of 15 years who would go to Fox 5 and give an interview discussing her friend's relationship with Ali in the months before the shooting. In the interview, she would discuss his obsession with Anna and his controlling and abusive behavior towards his wife. One instance was described in which Conroy tried to contact her friend on her cell phone, only to hear Ali on the other end as he would reveal that he had quote-unquote confiscated his wife's phone. In addition to her friendship with Anna, Conroy also spent a considerable amount of time with Ali personally, and would paint a picture of a narcissistic and impulsive cocaine addict who would assert complete control over his wife and would make every conversation about himself. Interviewers were told by Conroy that she knew things were bad between the couple, but would have no way of predicting the horrific killings that were to come. Over the following weeks, as those related to the Boulabans would go to the news with their numerous sides of the story and form multiple narratives, one man would suddenly appear for an exclusive interview that would shock the investigators, the media, and the entire country. The man was HahaYeah Boulaban himself. On December 9th, Fox 5 San Diego would publish a surprising and bizarre interview with Ali from inside the George Bailey Detention Center where he was being held. In the interview, the reporter would ask numerous questions about the crime and the events that led up to the murders in order to gain a comprehensive outline of what had truly occurred on that fateful day. Ali avoided and dodged many of the questions asked by the reporter and claimed that the events on the day of the murder were a blur.
What happens when you get to the apartment?
I go up and I see them.
What did you think? What did you think?
They were nothing. I didn't see that. I don't. It was a blur.
He would eventually claim in the interview that he was listening in on his daughter's tablet and had rushed to the apartment upon hearing a male's voice with Anna. He said that he happened to have discovered Anna and Rayburn's bodies in the apartment upon arriving without actually being the killer himself. A clear lie. While attempting not to incriminate himself, Ali seemed incredibly emotional and unnerved, even remorseful to an extent. Do not be fooled, however. The only person Ali felt sorry for in that moment was himself. On top of his blatant denial of the horrific crime he had committed, during the interview, Ali would seem more concerned with the idea that Anna may have cheated on him as opposed to the fact that he had gunned down the mother of his child in her own home.
So when you heard Rayburn's voice, you went
I
to...
didn't recognize him. I didn't know who it was.
But what were you thinking?
I was freaking out. Oh my God! I caught her! I caught her! Oh my God! Oh my God! There's a man! There's a man! And then guess what? I hear nightmare. R&B music. And to see her kissing Ray on my couch with his feet on my table, with my holding. I'm running my apartment, my life, in the house that my daughter sleeps in, on the furniture that I put together. What do you expect a man to feel?
Every tear he would shed in the interview was for himself, as he somehow became deluded enough to think that he was the one who was wronged in this situation, as opposed to the people he killed and the daughter he left without a mother. All the tears and crying displayed in the interview came from Ali's own realization that he would spend the rest of his life rotting in a cell, where he belongs. As Ali's trial began in September, he would make headlines again following a courtroom outburst during witness testimony.
Several witnesses took the stand Monday, including a detective who talked about Ali's demeanor after the shooting, and that led to another outburst.
You think I wanted this? Or I wanted this? Who the
Mr. Boulevard, Mr. Boulevard, I need you to stop.
My life is destroyed.
Mr. Boulevard, I need you to stop.
It is unclear whether or not Ali was attempting to feign insanity for a possible defense with this outburst, but it does demonstrate how he has absolved himself of all wrongdoing in his mind. He screamed at the testifying detective asking, "You think I wanted this?" when the answer to that question is clear. He demonstrated exactly what he wanted the day he, as a grown and independent man, decided to load a gun and murder the mother of his child and her friend out of his own selfish need for control. He could have gone down the route that thousands of other men take when facing hardships in their relationship and separated from his wife the legal way. Ali had money and a growing career. He could have split from his marriage or tried to work things out, but instead he killed Anna and left behind grieving relatives and a torn community. All of this damage in addition to his daughter, who will grow up without a mother that she will know was killed at the hands of the very man supposed to protect her, her father. Ali became used to his expanding spotlight and came to believe that only his wants and needs mattered in the end. The lives of Anna, Rayburn, his daughter, and the community did not matter to him as long as he got what he wanted, and even as he is facing the reality of his actions, he still sits in denial. This sad story reflects an all too common theme of people who portray themselves as happy and carefree for the internet while facing a not so perfect reality behind closed doors. The cycle of domestic violence will continue if not interrupted, and in some cases, may even become deadly.